You're going to see above me a tweet from Tyler Saucedo that includes information about what he went through after yesterday's game. Yesterday, Tyler Saucedo unfortunately had an unfortunate appearance where he went a third of an inning and gave up 5 runs. And because of that, it is understandable to say maybe I don't want Tyler Saucedo to be on the Mariners team. Because while he did not lose the game directly, the Mariners had a 3-2 disadvantage at the time, and that led to the Mariners being unable to overcome the actual disadvantage that they ended up with after Saucedo's appearance. And unfortunately, due to the way that Saucedo's appearance happened, many people believed that there were issues, and that directly led to the Mariners losing the game. I totally understand being upset about a player, and you can criticize a player. Whether or not you play the game yourself, you are allowed to criticize a player. That is something we as a society have agreed upon is allowed, and I think that's totally fine. We agree that sports betting is a part of society as well. Now, I don't know how I feel about that, because another image that I'm about to show you is a death threat that was sent to Tyler Saucedo and his wife or girlfriend. I'm not 100% sure if they're married, but what I do know is that Tyler Saucedo and his partner are people. And as they are people, it is very important for them to be allowed to express themselves, be allowed to be themselves, be allowed to live their life on the internet in a way that does not mean that they believe that their life is in danger. We were talking about this in r/Mariners in the thread where this is actually posted. Because they posted the tweet from Sauce as well as the Instagram post so that we could discuss it. And a lot of us believe that there is a chance that maybe it was somebody who was just really upset about the Mariners' loss. But as Mariners fans, what we understand is that we went 20 years without having a playoff appearance. We've never made the World Series. We have the same number of ruptured testicles as playoff appearances. So we thought maybe it was a gambler who bet the under. The over-under was definitely below 13.5 or 12.5 yesterday, as between the two teams there were 13 runs scored. And maybe it was a bettor who bet the under, maybe it was a bettor who bet the spread, who got really upset that because of Saucedo's appearance, it led to them losing money, or maybe it was part of a parlay and it led to them losing money, and because of that, I have thoughts about gambling and sports that I really don't think that they're necessarily a good thing for society, but I understand that that is where we are. So now we have to make rules and regulations so that people aren't able to do stuff like this and to get away with it. Joining me for this video, remember, if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and ring that bell if you want to get notified every time a new video goes live. I publish multiple videos a day. So, yes, there are rules about harassing people, about threatening the lives of people, and the police can get involved with this. But it looks to me that that account is anonymous, or at least very, very close to anonymous. Would the police potentially in Seattle or Philadelphia or wherever they are be able to go and take a look and see where that person's IP address is, track them down, arrest them? Maybe, but maybe not. It's one of those things where you're not 100% sure if the local police have the ability to do that. We know that the FBI has the ability to do that, but we also know that there are times when the people who are responsible for these things have the ability to remove themselves from being tracked. It's something that happens, and it's unfortunate that it happens because it allows people to get away with things like this. Now, this is the second year in a row that Mariners players have faced death threats. Last year it also was about in August when the Mariners were in the middle of a potential playoff push. As you remember, the Mariners had a potential path to the playoffs, ended up losing out on the third or fourth last day of the season, ended up being they missed the playoffs by a game. It was unfortunate. There were plenty of times throughout the season, Munoz walking in a guy to blow a save, stuff like that that could have made it so the Mariners didn't miss the playoffs. But what ended up happening was Mitch Garver, who batted under 200 for the season and who had been signed for $24 million for 2 years with, I believe, a player option for the third season, hit less than 200. He had like 180.186 last season, and people were sending death threats to him, and it was wrong. And Mitch talked about it, and he said, "Hey, I don't think I'm going to be a 200 level, a 200 hitter this season." And everybody was like, everybody in the Mariners subreddit was like, "Okay, that's fine, that's fine. We understand that." We were disappointed that the Mariners spent $12 million on a lack of production, but we were like, that's understandable. It's baseball. Things happen. There's regression. This year, Mitch Garver's improved. Now, he's not always the designated hitter at this point. We've split that duty between Mitch Garver, Jorge Polanco, and Cal Raleigh, and a few other players who've needed some DH time if they've been recovering from injury or anything. And with Mitch Garver being the backup catcher, yes, he's paid $12 million to be a backup catcher, but people seem to be a lot less angry with him. And he's also performing a decent amount better. He's hit some home runs. He's been doing pretty well. My problem here is that 2 years in a row, the Mariners have had a chance to make a deep playoff push towards the end of the season, and people have decided that it was best to send death threats to players. That's just wrong, and there is absolutely no way you can justify this behavior, and I don't know what to do to stop this behavior. I do believe that it is related to sports gambling, and I do believe that the Mariners are going to be able to try to investigate this, potentially with the help of the FBI or local law enforcement, which it is important. Local law enforcement is something that's important. Like when people say defund the police or reform the police, yes, I understand that the police do need reforms, but we can't abolish law enforcement. There needs to be some form of enforcement of the law for when behaviors like this happen, for when other things happen. And I'm not going to be the one to figure out how to change that, but what I can tell you is that unfortunately Tyler Saucedo is likely suffering a lot more mental anguish than just what he would have been had he just had a bad appearance. Third of an inning, gives up 5 runs, doubles his ERA. Yeah, he's going to be upset about that. He's probably going back to the minor leagues today. I don't know for sure, but he probably is. But now, on top of you potentially worrying about going back to the minor leagues, he has to worry that he or his girlfriend are going to be targeted by somebody and might end up having physical or mental harm and anguish from whoever this is. That's just unacceptable. Thank you for taking a moment to watch this video today. You can follow me at my other socials. You're going to follow me on TikTok at Sammy5436. You can follow me on Instagram at Sammy5436. Or at Samantha P54361. You can follow me on Patreon or other paid platforms at Sammy5436, including Ko-Fi and one where that's a little bit less safe for work. Patreon members will get Mariners recaps approximately 12 hours before others, as well as access to some YouTube videos earlier than here. I'm generally going to try to make one YouTube video a week available early by a week on Patreon. I haven't decided what, and that will start next week. You can support me on Patreon for $1 a month. Coffee is also $1 a month. My other platform is $6.99 a month. And you can also follow me on most other platforms at Sammy5436. You can also email me at SamanthaPond54361 at outlook.com. Thank you.